2021 has been a crazy year in the Port St Lucie real estate market. As prices have continued to rise, as people flood the market from all over the United States and South Florida, and inventory struggles to keep up, 2022 doesn't look much better. Prices will continue to go up, but affordability, I believe, is going to continue to be a problem and become more of a problem as 2022 moves on. People are going to start looking for homes that are a little less expensive and settling for a little less home than they normally would have. So with this going on, there are some pitfalls that you need to be aware of. Today we're going to talk about the pitfalls that could cost you thousands of dollars in Port St Lucie when buying a home, that most buyers that are moving from out of state into Florida and also first-time buyers are usually not really aware of. Hi my friends, it's Lee Brickey with the Brickey team, and welcome to another edition of Real Estate Tips and Tours. So what I'm going to do is tell you what I tell my clients before hitting the street when looking for a home, especially when they're on a budget. The first thing that you need to be aware of is what everyone needs to be aware of when buying a home in Port St Lucie or anywhere in South Florida is the biggie: insurance, homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance has gotten very expensive for the wrong home. Insurance prices could be anywhere between $1,700 a year to $4,000 a year. So you don't want to get into a home that the insurance is going to be so high that it could blow you out of your debt to income ratio if you're financing. Another thing is, if you're on a budget and even you're paying cash, but you're on a budget, you want to be aware of what your insurance is because it might knock you out of your budget. So with that being said, what can cause your home to have a higher insurance rate than another home? The first is, look at the home and see what it's made of. A home that is wood frame is going to cost you more on your insurance than a home that is CBS or concrete block. The next thing that you want to be aware of is hurricane protection. Does the home have hurricane protection? And when I say that, do you have hurricane panels? Do you have accordion shutters? Or does the home have impact glass? One of these three are absolutely necessary in buying a home. The other thing you want to be aware of is that you have a hurricane rated garage door. Garage doors are really, really important, and most people just kind of pass that up. But if you buy a home without a hurricane garage door, you're going to need to put one in to keep your home safe, number one. But number two, the insurance companies are going to, charge you extra if you don't have it. So you want to have a house that's fully protected from hurricanes as best as possible. Here's why this is so important before we go any further, is because you actually have two insurance policies in the state of Florida. You have a hurricane policy and you have your regular homeowners insurance policy. So when you do your inspection, what you're going to end up having is what's called a wind mitigation done with the inspection. Wind mitigation is what the insurance companies use to rate the home for the insurance policy. So the first thing they look at is the home have hurricane protection. The next thing they're going to look at is, does the home have an old roof? So roofs are important because your insurance could go through the roof. A little pun there, but it could, because a roof that's over 5 years old, you're going to have less options for insurance. A roof that's over 10 years old, you're going to have way less options for insurance. And a roof that hits 20 years old, you may have one or two options. We do have an insurance company here called Citizens that insures homes that are uninsurable by the other insurance companies, but that is become an issue too, because it's not as good of insurance as you would get from a normal policy. And also Citizens is being bombarded right now with insurance because of the insurance companies dropping over 40,000 Floridians from their insurance policies last year. Now, you might say that this is a problem with the insurance companies, but it's more of a problem with fraud on the insurance companies, and it's something that is on the governor's desk right now and being worked out, and hopefully will be worked out very soon, but it is always going to be an issue because at best what the insurance companies are going to do is take the roofs and they're going to pay you for replacement of a roof depending on the age. So they're, it's going to be a sliding scale. So the roof is an important thing to be aware of. If you're on a budget, you do not want to buy a home with an old roof because you're going to end up having to put a roof on that house, and your insurance is going to be much more because of the roof. The roof is the number one thing. Also be aware that some of the older homes in Port St Lucie have not yet been switched to city sewer. A lot of these homes are still on septic. Now this is mostly for what's called the scattered lots or the non-HOA areas, but it's something you want to be aware of because the city of Port St Lucie will not allow you to repair a septic system. They'll make you go on city water if you ever have a problem. And since Florida is mostly sand and limestone, these septic tanks tend to sink in the sand, so they cause problems with the drainage and they need to be replaced after so many years or repaired. So the city's not going to let you repair them. They're going to make you switch to city sewer, and that can be a costly thing for many people. Another issue we have here in Florida is polybutylene pipes. Polybutylene pipes have a tendency to crack and leak. So what's happening in Florida right now is insurance companies are sending inspectors out to inspect the pipes to make sure that they're not polybutylene. And polybutylene was used in older homes, and this is a widespread problem. So you could be buying a upgraded home in a very nice HOA area and end up with polybutylene pipes. My lender, Brent, just went through this and had to replace all the pipes in his house. That is something that you do not want to get into. It's very, very expensive. So knowing that the home has polybutylene pipes is very important. And this is something that you can catch during the inspection process to make sure that that's not something that the home has. In the last, not a pitfall, but just an advice I would throw out there, and I do with many of my clients, if you're buying a home on a budget, if you're financing, and even if you're purchasing cash, you might want to look for a home that has already been upgraded. Unless you want to upgrade that house exactly the way you would like to do it and you have the cash to do it. But if you're on a budget, I would suggest to spend a little bit extra money and buy a home that's upgraded. Here's why. Right now with rates at historic lows, even with the Fed saying they're going to raise rates next year, rates will still continue to be historically low. As the CoreLogic report puts out, rates are going to end up staying somewhere around 3.4%. So we're not going to see any crazy increases in rates next year. So when buying a house, you can make way more money on your cash by putting in an investment than you can pouring it into a home on upgrades. For example, let's say you walk in a home and it needs a new kitchen. I mean, a kitchen's upwards of $20,000 minimum. So when you start looking at that, $20,000 on your mortgage is going to cost you less than $100 a month if you're getting, one of these good rates and you're qualifying for them. So take a look at how many upgrades that house may need. Figure that out while you're in the inspection period. If you think you really like the home, I always tell clients that if you like a home, put it under contract and think about it then, because you have the inspection period to work all of these things out. So when you're working out what your insurance costs are going to be, also work out how much work needs to be done to this home and how much that's going to cost you to get it upgraded the way you want it. And if it's only going to be an extra, 100 or so on your mortgage to buy a house that's completely upgraded, and this one's going to cost you upwards of $20,000 or more to upgrade, then you might want to just spend a little bit more money on the home and take that cash that you would have poured into upgrades and keep that in the bank or in your investment account working for you. And keep in mind, this goes for townhomes and especially condos. But leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think the pitfalls of buying a home in 2022 could be, and if you've experienced any of the ones that I've just gone over. And if you found value in this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if this is the first time you've been to my site or you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to slap that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our real estate tips and tours. And you can watch our next video on the taxes in Port St. Lucie right there. Happy New Year, be kind to each other, and I'll see you next year.